Welcome to Champions Code. I'm your host, Kane Swift. Today on Champions Code, imagine watching the Unkillable Demon King brought to his knees, not by a worthy opponent, but by his own body and mind. Today, we dissect how Faker faced the crushing silence of defeat, and how his comeback wasn't just about skill, but a mindset shift you can use to level up your own life, no matter how many times you've been benched. The gray monitor stares back at him, a dead reflection of everything lost. In the darkened stadium, where roaring crowds once chanted his name, silence reigns supreme. Lee Faker, Sang-hyeok's legendary hands lie motionless at his sides. The year is 2018, and the Unkillable Demon King has just been killed. You might think this is merely about losing a game, but when you've been called God since age 17, defeat cuts deeper than any mortal wound. Before the stadiums and spotlights, there was just a quiet house in Gangseo, Seoul. A young boy sits alone, the absence of his mother echoing through empty rooms. You know that feeling when something vital is missing from your life. For Faker, the void became his first opponent. The local PC Bang became his sanctuary, its fluorescent lights and humming machines filling the silence. Each click of the keyboard wrote a new line in his story of escape. While other kids button-mashed their way through games with wild abandon, young Sang-hyeok watched, calculated, planned. His approach was methodical, almost unnaturally calm. Remember when people called you different or strange for your intense focus? His father saw it too, but where others saw oddness, he recognized destiny. The weight of those words would have crushed most teenagers, but Faker wasn't most teenagers. His obsessive attention to detail, the very thing that made him an outsider, became his superpower. In the quiet hours at the PC Bang, he didn't just play games. He solved them, like complex mathematical equations, seeing patterns others couldn't even imagine. The backstage area of his first professional match buzzes with nervous energy. 17 years old, facing the established star ambition. The cameras zoom in on his hands, trembling slightly as they hover over the keyboard. You can feel the pressure building, can't you? That moment when everything you've worked for hangs by a thread. What happened next became esports legend, a single kill that announced to the world the king had arrived. But even as the crowd erupted, Faker remained still, focused, already calculating his next move. The crown was heavy, but his shoulders were ready. The 2013 World Championship Final, the culmination of countless hours, endless practice, and relentless dedication. Each keystroke echoes with purpose, each mouse click precisely measured. While his teammates celebrate their victory with wild abandon, Faker sits quietly, lost in thought. The trophy gleams beside him, but his eyes are fixed on the screen, already planning for the next challenge. His personal mouse rests in his hand, a humble instrument that would become as legendary as Excalibur. A framed photo of his father watches from the desk, those prophetic words about destiny now fulfilled. But prophecies, as you'll learn, come with a price. Fast forward to 2018. The empire begins to crumble, team dynamics fracture, media vultures circle. For the first time in his career, Faker faces the unthinkable, being benched. His body, pushed to extremes through years of 18-hour practice days, begins to betray him. Hand injuries threaten everything he's built. The whispers start, has the god become mortal? You've felt it before, haven't you? That moment when everything you've built seems to slip through your fingers, when the very thing that defined you threatens to break you. The world watches, waiting to see if their idol will fall. If you're enjoying Champions Code, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Champion's Edge. Learn the elite mindset of warriors like Jordan and Phelps to intelligently outperform. Now, back to the episode. We're back at that gray screen, but now you understand its weight. The defeat isn't just about lost games. It's about identity, purpose. When you've been called unstoppable for so long, what happens when you finally stop? The cameras capture his tears, a moment of raw humanity that shocks the esports world. Gods aren't supposed to cry. Easy words to say, harder to live by when you're staring into the abyss. But here's where Faker's story transcends gaming. While others might have crumbled, he chose to rebuild. Through the pain in his hands, through the doubt, through the deafening silence of defeat, he persevered. He transformed from just a player into a leader, mentoring younger teammates, sharing the wisdom earned through his falls. 2023, a decade after his first triumph. The stadium lights shine again, but this time they illuminate a different Faker. Not just the mechanical prodigy, but a master who has learned that true greatness lies in the mind more than the hands. Today, that monitor isn't gray anymore. It glows with possibility. Faker sits before it, not as a god or a demon king, but as something more powerful, a human who refused to be defined by his failures. His mouse moves with the same precision, but now each click carries the weight of wisdom earned through adversity. This isn't just Faker's story. It's about you, about that voice inside that says you're different, that your approach isn't normal. Faker's greatest strength wasn't his gaming skill. It was his ability to turn his perceived oddness into excellence, his defeats into fuel. The next time you face your own gray screen, that moment of defeat or doubt, remember, it's not about avoiding failure. The ability to see each setback not as an ending, but as data for your next attempt. Your screen is always on, waiting for your next move. The question isn't whether you'll face defeat, you will. The question is, will you let it define you, or will you, like the Silent King, use it to forge something stronger than victory? Remember, the same focus that makes you feel different today might be your superpower tomorrow, but only if you have the courage to keep playing your own game, even when the world tells you to quit. The monitor awaits. What's your next move? On the next episode of Champion's Code. After witnessing Faker's journey from isolation to triumph, you've seen that true greatness is born from resilience. But what happens when that flame burns too brightly? Imagine a world where talent alone isn't enough, where obsession can lead even the most gifted astray. Next week, we dive into the mind of another esports prodigy, exploring how his unmatched skill might just be his greatest limitation. Don't miss out on this universal tale of genius and self-discovery, coming soon to your screen. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, The Champion's Edge. 7 days, 7 champion habits. Train your mind like an Olympian and outmaneuver competitors while putting in less effort. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/cc. Thanks for watching.